God bless you, family. This is Bishop Samuel Mercer, and I'm here with my lovely co-host.
Hey, it's me, Lady Kimberly.
And we're here with your friendly Maltese Louie. Louie, say hi.
Hey, Louie.
You want to smile?
Hi, sweetie pie.
Okay, it's not his show. Bye, Louie. All right, so here we are for Monday's Moments with the Mercers. It was asked that we try to do this video in person, face-to-face thing. So I guess what is shown or heard on the radio, you actually can see it in our face. So here I am.
Here we are.
God
Y'all
bless you.
asked for it.
Yes, I felt glory right there. You didn't feel glory?
Nah, not at that moment.
You didn't feel any glory?
Mm-mm.
All right, well, we got to do better so you can feel glory. But listen, for this Monday's Moments with the Mercers, we're going to pick up on where we left off yesterday during our worship service. We had 3 points to the sermon. The sermon 3 points were dealt with reversal, recovery, and then restitution. Mm-hmm. Okay, those 3 points were reversal, recovery, and restitution.
Okay.
And the way we want to pick it up on Monday in regard to those 3 elements is that, we got happy, we danced, we ran. Some people cried. They cried their eyelashes off. You see her eyelashes after church?
Yeah, that was a mess.
She like a picket fence, didn't she? Let's hit it one time. There it is. So
That's not nice. But I got you, though. I got you.
she done cried her little lashes off, honey. Should we get some worship music for the crying people?
Why not?
Let's talk to worship music.
Okay.
All right. Worship music. Here we go. Yes, beloved of God. You got to get your serious face on.
This is my serious face. I'm about to cry too.
All right, she blew that. Listen. So, for reversal, recovery, and restitution, there are 3 points that we want to deal with so that we can really take full advantage and benefit from what we're about to experience.
Okay.
We survived the 6th to 9th hour darkness, and now we're in the 9th hour, and all this great stuff is about to happen to us. And I preach it, so definitely I believe it. I definitely believe that we're gonna have a historic reversal. That the stuff that tried to come through the timelines and tried to destroy it, God's going to reverse it. Mm-hmm. I believe there's going to be a holistic recovery.
Okay.
Part of the sermon was what I'm going to recover is more than material things. Instead of a car, I'll have my consciousness. Instead of money, I'll have my mind. Instead of fame, I'll have my faith. Instead of prestige, I'll get back to praying again. Instead of a house, I'll be happy again. Sum total, I'm getting myself back. I believe that. All right. I also believe that there will be a worthy restitution.
Okay.
All the little messy, ugly people that ran their mouth, they're going. Some of them were ugly, ugly spirited, not aesthetically, spirit. Okay. That ran their mouth, they're gonna have to come back and admit their lies and acknowledge the truth of who we are and the truth of who you are. Then they try to convince other people against it. I believe all of that 100%. Now, if all of that is true, there are 3 more R's for the sake of alliteration. 3 more R's that we want to deal with on Monday's Moments with the Mercers. The first R, if you're watching, taking mental note, you're taking paper note, you're taking sticky tab note, whatever. The first R is responsibility. Mm-hmm. It's responsibility. So when I say responsibility to you, what do you think? What comes to mind when I say responsibility?
Comes to mind for responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
In charge.
In charge, excellent. In charge of what?
Whatever you're responsible for.
when we deal with responsibility, it does deal with being in charge. It does deal with ownership, and it deals with ownership of the individual. It deals with ownership of our life. Now, how does responsibility play a factor into, how do I put this, into my reversal, my recovery, and my restitution? The responsibility takes a place, Kim, because it was what I didn't know that got me in trouble the first time.
Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. It was what I didn't know. It was what I thought I knew that got me to a place where I got jammed up the first time. Mm-hmm. So if God's going to wipe all that stuff out and give me another opportunity, allow me to actually to reverse it and allow me to recover, one of the first steps of responsibility that I have is I can't rest on what I thought I knew, because what I thought I knew wasn't worth anything. So now I got to become responsible and seek out what I need to know so that I don't go backwards and make the same mistakes again. You know, when we look at the Bible, specifically, I believe it's in the book of Exodus where, it's actually in the book of Exodus chapter 33, where Moses gets the assignment from God, and Moses' words to God were real simple. Exodus 33, and I want to say it's around verse number 13. He says it this way, and I'm going to give it to you from the Message Bible because it makes a lot more sense, a little clearer to understand. He says, you know me well, and you tell me that I'm special to you. If I'm so special to you, let me know your plans. Yes. And the King James Version says, teach me your ways.
Teach me your ways, Lord.
You feel a preach?
I do.
A soft-talk preach? He says, teach me your ways. Yes. One of the things that I want to admonish us that are watching this video from Monday's Moments is that in this hour, we cannot afford to be ignorant. And ignorant is not a bad term. It is not a derogatory term where some may have used it, in other parts of our life. When there's a matter of ignorance, it means there's a lack of knowledge. Unlearned. When you're really serious, hear me carefully, when you're really serious about your recovery, when you're really serious about your restitution and pursuing your purpose, you will seek out knowledge in every possible way. Mm-hmm. There's no time to rest on your laurels of, I think I'll try it this way. One of the things I told my wife when we first got together was, I said, I'm too old to be starting over again.
Yes.
I don't know if I have another start over in me. So therefore, I have to be, remember this word, I have to be intentional.
Oh, goodness.
You remember that, don't you?
I remember.
I promise you. First date, sitting there, I ain't got time to play games with you. I'm putting it all on the table right now. I got to be intentional. Yes. Because after what this last storm had brought to me, yes, I ain't trying to go through that again. So for the people that were excited, for those that were ecstatic that they didn't die in the dark, they're going to have the reversal, they're going to have the recovery, they're going to have the restitution. Mm-hmm. We got to be intentional about our responsibility. Yes. This is not the time to watch more TV than you read. This is not the time to do more socializing and shopping than you study. Okay. This is the hour where you say, God, I thank you for what you've given me, and I'm going to take this opportunity and I'm going to maximize it to the biggest of my ability. That's where we get to the issue of the parable, even the parable of the parable of the talents, where they were given three different portions. The first two, in street terminology, they flipped it. The last one buried it and did nothing. He was the one that got rebuked. Okay. The question for those who are watching us right now: what are you doing with this next opportunity? What are you doing now that the scare is over? Now that the threat is gone, now that the reversal of the demise has occurred, what are you doing with this moment other than what you've always done? Yes. Okay? Because if we do what we've always done, we will get what we always get.
That's right.
So what are you doing? So what can you say to the people in regard to making the best out of this next moment, making the best out of this second chance that God has given us? What you say?
Basically, I'm going off of what you say. Just be intentional. And how you proceed.
Now you've had businesses before. Mm-hmm. You've had restaurants before because she can cook. Okay, really. The plan is in about 3 years we're gonna open up another restaurant.
We'll see.
That was God talking. Oh, I missed it. Hold on, one more time. That was God talking. It ain't working.
Was it really God?
Come on, gotta get the band together. That was God talking. But with Lashing Out Loud iStudio versus, what was it, Flint's Famous
Tacos.
All right. What are you doing differently or in regard to business or as far as yourself than you did when you had your restaurant?
One thing is I'm taking my time. I'm doing my research. Mm-hmm. I'm not just going by what I thought it would take. Mm-hmm. I kind of went in blindsided. Mm-hmm. But this time I'm doing it a lot differently. I'm reaching out. I'm getting more input. Like I said, I'm doing a lot of research. I'm doing training. Even though I know how to do stuff, I'm practicing my skill.
Excellent. And this is the thing. When we're not intentional on getting all the information or getting the knowledge and everything to make it work, we will mess up the second chance. And we will come to a place I like to call a place of regret.
Yes.
You can tell when someone is in regret because they ain't happy about nothing.
Right.
And this is the amazing thing about people that are living in regret. Stop taking the negative things they say about you personally. Because what they are saying really is a result of their personal regret.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's true.
They see you taking advantage of your second opportunity. They squandered theirs. And what you do highlights what they didn't do. Preach, Bishop. We got to be very careful that we don't take distractions or things from people or the peanut gallery so far to heart that it takes us off of course from doing what we were supposed to do. What are you saying? Hear me carefully. No shade, but 100% truth. How did Bishop say it? I ain't cracking, I'm facting.
Yes, sir.
That's how it is. I ain't cracking. I'm cracking, but I'm facting. That's
cracking,
it.
but you facting.
That's it. That's some Detroit stuff. Nobody knows anything about that.
I hadn't heard it though.
You try to slide Bishop?
No, I'm not.
No, I'm not. One time for Bishop. Is it all?
Yeah. Get it together.
Yeah, you going. I pay you for this. One of the major things that we find with regret is that you will find people with regret are not necessarily happy for your promotion. They're not happy for your progress. And they will not be happy for your prosperity. So what they will then do, they will find something to do or something to keep you busy or occupied at the times you should be engaged in your research, engaged in your responsibilities, engaged in what you need to do. One of the things, one of the most annoying things that people do, I guess people really don't do it anymore because I got kind of serious about checking folk. I like checking people.
Since when?
Since I turned 40. Since I turned 40, I got a checking anointing. Let me see right here. Checking anointing. One thing that that annoys me is what you do in text message.
Okay.
One thing that annoys me is what you do in phone call.
Okay.
Like try. Pretend like you calling me. Okay, call me. Put your phone. Get your phone to your ear. Hey, call me. No, don't call me for it. Oh, okay, cool. All right. Hello.
Hey, what you doing?
What you ain't doing. So, that wasn't nice?
No.
People call to find out what you're doing. Not necessarily for input, not necessarily for knowledge, but they want to make sure that you are as unproductive as they are.
I can see that with some people, yeah.
I know there are some folks that will call because they want to make sure that you are on task. They want to make sure you are accountable. But the only people that call to see if you have time to chit-chat are the people that have time to chit-chat. The question becomes, why do they have time to chit-chat?
Well, what about if they just have time to chit-chat?
I don't.
Never?
No.
So
I have
we never have time to chit-chat?
Who?
We, people. Is that what you're saying?
There should be time to chit-chat, but it needs to be in its proper place. Okay? Because here it is, because y'all gonna think I'm mean, and, I've been mean for a long time, especially since when, baby? Since I was 40, I've been mean. Here's the deal. If I've taken time to go through my day and map out 9 to 10 o'clock, 10 to 11 o'clock, 11 to 12, 12 to 12:30, because 12:30 I got a break for Young and the Restless, 1:30 to 2:30. I map my day out so that I can reach a goal.
Okay.
If you call and interrupt me during that period to discuss idle stuff, things that are non-important, something that is non-essential to my growth and to my development, are you promoting me or are you distracting me?
Okay, that's a distraction.
That's a distraction. And I can't afford to be distracted. I'd rather for someone, if it's a social matter, shoot me a text message and say, hey, you got free time where we can catch up? And then we can set it 3 o'clock and give you a call, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So that which is irrelevant don't take the place of that which is that's a matter of my responsibility and a matter of my progress. One of the mistakes that we make, we give people too much access into our personal space.
I'm guilty of that. Now,
I know.
Definitely need to do better.
We're too wide open.
Yeah.
Why does everyone have access to you?
Why, Lord?
I promise you, the decline button on your phone is your friend. Because if it's important, they will leave a message, they will leave a text message, and you can get back to it at that point. But we are too wide open. If I'm going to take advantage of my recovery, of my reversal, and of my restitution, I cannot be filled with regret because I left my life too wide open to other people. Close the door.
Yeah.
Because what happened is you will forsake your responsibility. You will then go into regret because you misused time. And what regret will then do, the third R, and we're about to go, regret will then issue you to a place called regression. Okay? Regression. Let's make it real simple. I'm trying to be responsible, but my life is wide open. So now I've given up some time, and I see where I've lost time. Right. I have good goals come January the 1st that I want to accomplish by September 30th. How many days is it? 30 or 31 days?
I think it's 31.
Okay, some goals I want to accomplish by September 31st. Y'all with me? So now it is September 17th, and I've only done 5% of what I wanted to do because I have left my life wide open. Now I'm regretting the access I've given people. I'm regretting the time that I've lost. So what happens now is I find myself slowly starting to regress. Ask me why.
Why, Bishop?
Because I then ask myself, what's the use? Because to try to get back on track, to try to get things where they were supposed to do, to try to correct, redirect my energies requires so much energy.
Yes,
I now say, what's the use?
Yes.
I just settle where I am. I make the best use of where I am. This is why, hear me carefully, why January we have great plans. Why December we come to watch night, this has been the worst year of our life. It's the worst year of my life because I found myself regressing and I stopped moving forward with the energy I had come January.
Wow.
Because I left myself too wide open. It doesn't mean you got to be a mean person. It doesn't mean you got to be shut off from people and an introvert and all that kind of stuff. But what it does mean is we got to take responsibility. We got to take ownership. Hear me carefully. Ownership of our life. Ownership of our life. When we look at responsibility from an etymological perspective.
I didn't say anything.
They can't hear you because you ain't even talking loud enough.
Okay, I'm sorry.
What you apologize to me for?
To the people.
Don't go into regret. Full of people. Dude, full of people. Listen. When we look at the etymology of responsibility, it denotes a few things. It denotes to respond, it denotes to answer to, and it denotes to pledge. To respond, to answer to, and to make a pledge.
Okay.
What are you saying? When I become responsible, then what I do, I make a pledge to myself. I make a vow to myself that I am going to stay consistent, I am going to stay intentional, and I am going to accomplish what I set my goals to be. When I become irresponsible, that means I have no commitment, no allegiance, no answer to anything or anybody. When I'm irresponsible, I'm answering to it. I'm making no vow to it. I'm making no commitment to it. Let's make this extremely practical. Here is purpose. Let's use my phone. Here is purpose. Okay? Purpose is set for me. But in order for me to become responsible and obtain my purpose, I have to respond to purpose. When I'm irresponsible, I'm responding to everything but what requires my attention. You with me now? So purpose is saying, let's say I want to be a great swimmer. So my swimming purpose says you need to be in the pool swimming at least an hour a day.
Right.
All right?
Right.
Instead of swimming, I'm surfing the internet. I'm playing on Facebook. I'm posting foolishness on Instagram. I'm playing with the dog. So I am answering to everything in everybody, but purpose is still being ignored. Question for the church: what are you ignoring that's looking for an answer from you?
Wow.
I cannot reach my destiny. I cannot reach my purpose. I will squander, hear me carefully, I will squander the reversal, the recovery, and the restitution if I do not respond appropriately to what is calling for my attention. This is why sometimes we are troubled. This is sometimes why we are uncomfortable. This is sometimes why we can't rest, because we have things left undone.
Yes.
Because what you are called and assigned to do is calling you, but you won't respond. Everybody got your attention. Check this out. Check this out. We're going to get up out of here. We played around. We joked a little bit. Got serious at the end. Hope you got some nuggets at the end of it. But listen to this. You ready for this? Check this out. You ready?
Oh,
Did I hit you?
Yeah.
Sorry. Listen. How long, what would happen to our marriage if every time you needed a date night, every time you needed a conversation, every time you needed just to spend time, every time you needed me to respond to you, I was always busy doing something for somebody else? If every time you needed me to be responsible, I was tied up cutting the neighbor's grass next door, what then would happen?
That would definitely bring about in our marriage.
In essence, she wouldn't take it for very long, and her name probably would no longer be Mercer. It would go back to Avery. What are you saying, Bishop? How long can you ignore your purpose before your purpose responds to an answer to from somebody else? The challenge is the work got to get done. If you've been called to minister to youth, the youth got to get their ministry. If you've been called to feed the homeless got to get their clothes. If you've been called to parent children, the children have to get parented. But if you don't respond to your call, don't get upset when someone else is in a seat that you are supposed to be in.
Ooh-wee. That's good, sir.
That's it.
That's good.
Don't get upset.
Yes.
Because you had your chance. Actually, for many of us, we're having our second chance.
Yes. Might be more than that.
We're having our 2,222nd chance.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're about 4,000 now, aren't you?
Probably.
I'm about 5,000 myself. But anyway, it's waiting for you to respond. It's waiting for you to give an answer. It's waiting for you to take a pledge and a commitment to it. So what's the bottom line of this Monday's Moments with the Mercers while we're trying this first time video thing for y'all? Answer the call. Stop answering everybody else and ignoring your own call. You're a great mama. You're a great grandmama. You're a great employee. You're a great whatever you are being great at. But is that the sum total of who you are? And is that the core purpose of what God has for you? I can be a good pet owner. Louis could love me. But I'm purpose for more than a Louis ownership. So Louis needs to go sit down somewhere because I have purpose to manifest. Close us out. I'm tired.
Be intentional in your purpose.
Yes.
We must be intentional. One quote I was just looking at, it stood out to me. It says, "You cannot escape the responsibility of tomorrow by evading it today." So,
don't fall for the pitfall of procrastination. Stop being lazy. Get off this video and go to work. That's it.
Hit decline.
Hit decline, except when I call. If I call, y'all better answer. God bless you, family. Again, this is Bishop Samuel Mercer, and I'm here with my wonderful co-host,
Lady Kimberly. Have a good week, everyone.
Hold on, where's Louis? You gotta say bye.
Yeah.
Louis gone. Uh-oh. Bop here, baby. Sing for him, sing for him. She ain't gonna sing. Love y'all. We out.